The ride that you're going to view today is filmed on the beautiful island of in British Columbia on Vancouver Island, and it's a really surreal, very romantic day. It's the first day that we got out there where it wasn't raining, and but we did have some overcast and cool. It was a cool day. The roads were still a little bit damp from the night before because it had been raining for the last week. And I was really excited to get out on the road and get this ride going. And so we rode down Highway 1, or Canada Highway 1, until we got into Ladysmith and worked our way ultimately down to Crofton, where we could pick up the ferry and take the ferry over to Salt Springs Island. And then on Salt Springs Island, it starts clearing up as we rode down to Ganges. So this ride ends in Ganges at about an hour and a half of riding, and you can pick up the rest of the video, the rest of the ride on Anaerobic 2, which is the continuation of the islands of British Columbia. That's also a beautiful ride. So with this ride, we're gonna take it easy on the workout. So we're not gonna mirror the actual ride. We're going to work on specific drills that target our cadence and how smooth our pedaling cadence is, because that's what we're really working on, is pedaling cadence smoothness. We're working on flexibility, and you're just going to get an idea and a taste of how to really fine-tune your pedaling, whether you're pushing up, pulling down, trying to pedal circles instead of pedaling squares, and just give you that feeling like there's no chain on the bike. So that's really where we start developing our pedaling skills and our cycling skills and our flexibility and how fast we can get those legs turning. And so that's the focus for today's workout. It's a wonderful heart health workout. You're not going to be pushing your limits too high, but you will get enough of a workout where you're going to start breaking a sweat, and you start feeling it a little bit and start breathing. So it's a lot of fun. I think you're going to enjoy it. So get the trainer fired up, and let's go hit the road. Turn there? Okay, that's what we want. Another beautiful day. We're in Nanaimo. We're heading down to Salt Springs Island, so we'll see you down at the ferry. Ciao.
All right, have a good ride, folks.
Yeah.
You are listening to the audio track with instructional narrative. To turn off this audio track, simply press the audio button on your DVD remote. The second track is music only. The third track is narrative only. And the fourth track is just the natural sounds of the ride. Well, welcome everybody. We're in beautiful Nanaimo, British Columbia, on the island.
Busy highway.
I'm sorry, on Vancouver Island. And we are just heading south here to get to our first port.
Radio check.
And as you might have read, we were having some difficulties with the weather. Yesterday, this ride was planned, and we got rained out. So the first part of this ride, well, it was supposed to end at the ferry, and then we were going to start the next ride
Do you read me, Kev?
in Salt Springs Island. But we filmed this all in one day because today was supposed to be nice. And while there is some overcast right now, we have some beautiful weather to look forward to. So stick with it.
Let me know.
We're going to start seeing some clear skies. Right now it's nice and cool. It's a little balmy. And we're listening to the walkie-talkie in the ear, trying to get directions down to the port and route our way safely. There's not a lot of roads on an island. There's only so many ways to get from point A to point B, and really trying to pick out the nicest routes, the safest routes, and routes that we can find our way. Well, I think we have a fairly interesting workout designed for you today. I'm going to mix it up a little bit and do some drills. Keep ourselves busy, keep our brains occupied. And right now what we should be doing is just soft pedaling. Keeping it in an easy gear and pedaling at a cadence of 70 to 80, so that our heart rate is right around 65% of max. So what you should do if you have a trainer with adjustable resistance, go ahead and back off that resistance so that a cadence of 80 will generate a heart rate of between 65 to 70% of your max. Same thing if you're on a spin bike, just dial back that resistance. So it should be a nice, easy, light pedaling resistance. And keep that heart rate right around 65 to 70 beats per minute. Now, you can kind of have fun with this workout. If you want to make it more difficult, you can bring up the tension on your trainer or on your spin bike and bring the heart rate up a little bit, 75% to start. By the time your workout is over, it's going to get it'll get tougher. So as we're working through this video, the efforts start out easy and get a little harder as we go through it. And we'll be doing that with drills. Right now we're speeding along the highway here because we kind of ran out of a bike lane, so we're cruising, but you at home should be taking it easy. And we'll come up to the stoplight here, and we're just going to edit this out and keep rolling through. Well, in July, this is actually a very nice day on the island when it's not raining. We were out for a week and we had 1 day of nice weather. So, and this was it. So welcome. Okay, that little sign that there popped up on your right is giving us a little heads up for our first drill. We're going to start out with a high cadence drill. And so what we want to do is in 3, 2, 1, let's start our cadence up 110 RPM. Keeping it in that easy gear. You can see the little graphic is showing a 1, 42, 1. Now the one on top is our gearing in the back. So if we're in a 1, we're in our easiest gear on our trainer. And 6 seconds more. And that 42 means your small ring up front. And let's go ahead and start easy pedaling again. And that 1 on the very bottom is just the resistance. So if you're on a spin bike, a 1 out of 10 for the resistance, we're keeping it easy. So we didn't change resistances there, we just sped up. Every 5 minutes, we're going to do a drill, bringing that cadence up, and then we'll add a new discipline. We're going to have a little fun with it. In the meantime, what I wanted to talk about, have a little fun with our conversation today, and talk about why we hate cycling. Okay, we got to bring that cadence down again, get that heart rate, settle it back down to 65-70% of max. Take a drink. Now understand that many of you out there are beginner cyclists, and I also understand that there's a lot of you out there who are advanced cyclists. And for the beginning cyclist, it's a chance for me to empathize with what you're going through. And for you advanced cyclists, you can nod your head and say, oh yeah, because there's a lot of elements to cycling that start popping at you and start flying at you one after the other, and make you make some people very intimidated about the sport because there's so much to it. You know, you buy a bike, you think all you have to do is put your feet on the pedals and pedal the bike, but then you realize there's a lot more to the sport of cycling than what meets the eye. And you get overwhelmed with equipment, with training, with other people on the road, with the clothes, with information like Bike Fit, how to find safe routes, a whole bunch of little things like that.
Little kid making transmissions over the radio.
And the first thing I think that I don't know, I guess it's you acclimate to it, but the clothes are designed to make you look stupid. Tight shorts, colorful jerseys, and it's no place to be seen in public if you've ever walked through a mini mart in your cleats and your tight pants, colorful jersey, helmet, and you're clomping through like a penguin, and you know people are looking at you. Then you know what it's like to be a cyclist. Now, why that clothing is ugly and maybe embarrassing, it does have a function, and it's something I recommend. Get the clothes. The chamois in the shorts prevents chafing. The Lycra has a compression element which improves circulation to your legs, to your thighs, where your big muscles are, to your butt. The jersey is tight fitting so it doesn't flap in the wind. And the pockets on the back let you put your keys, wallet, cell phone, extra windbreaker. You can stuff those things full. Okay, well, here's our next drill. Keep it in the same gear now. And we're going to pick that cadence up to 110. So I really want you to spin it out here. 3, 2, 1, go. 110 RPM. And while you're doing this, what I want you to focus on is keeping your upper body still, keeping your shoulders still, keeping your nose and eyes forward. Don't bounce in the saddle. Just let your legs do the work. Bring the pedals up and around. A little bit of rain. 2, 1. Soft pedal. Let's go ahead and add 1 click of resistance. I'm going to take out our right leg, unclip it, pedal with only our left leg, 30 seconds, maintaining a cadence of about 70 RPM. Heart rate should be coming up just a little bit here. If you were at 70, probably right around 75 right now.
Roger, gotcha.
Left leg only. Smooth pedal strokes. Find that dead spot and push it over. Go ahead and clip your other leg in and unclip your left leg. So right leg only. 30 seconds, 2, 1, and pedal. We're only looking at about 70 RPM here, 70 to 80. Just warming up here. You'll notice if you have a left or a right leg that's dominant by how easy it feels. Eyes forward. Don't rock back and forth. Keep the bike smooth. Keep the pedaling smooth. Click both feet in. And let's go ahead and easy pedal. Cadence of about 80. And leave it in that gear that or resistance that you chose. We're not going to downshift. So what we're going to see is that with a little extra resistance, our heart rate's going to come up just a little bit. If you're at 70, heart rate should come up to 72 or 73. And just hold steady. We're in the aerobic zone. We're burning a lot of calories from fat, taking off that weight that we don't want on our belly and our backs, taking it easy.
10 miles. By the way, I have the GPS set to kilometers.
Yeah, so clothes are designed to look goofy. But they're noticeable. People see you on the road. There's not a lot left to the imagination. But get your clothes. Another thing I hate about cycling is when you're in the saddle for a long period of time, you start going a little numb between your legs and you wonder if you're going to become impotent over time. Guys,
I got a lot of wind noise. You might want to repeat.
If you feel too much numbness or tingling, you may need to adjust that saddle, adjust your fit, get a different saddle. You might be experiencing that because you're not wearing the right clothing. But I've been riding for 30 years and I can still have babies.
Drop the remote, I got it.
don't worry.
I'll be there in just a second.
The added health that you gain from the sport will benefit you in other ways than just losing weight, having a healthy body. Okay, here's our next interval. And bring that cadence up, 110. Go. Nice and high cadence here. A little more resistance, so we're going to see our heart rate come up a bit. 15 seconds. Keep that cadence up. Try and stay smooth, pedaling smooth. Don't let your body rock or bounce. Detach your legs from the rest of your body. Just let them spin. And soft pedal. Add 1 click of resistance. Left leg interval, so unclick your right leg. 20 RPM or 70 RPM. And pedal.
I'm assuming straight.
Left leg only. You want to be doing a push-pull motion. So you're basically moving those legs around in a circle, focusing on your foot, trying to move your foot around in a circle. You're not just pushing down. Kill that dead spot with the forward motion. Other leg. Heart rate's a little higher. 70 RPM. Ready, set, go. A little more resistance. You want to try to get rid of those jerks by just really focusing on pushing, pulling. Keep your whole leg moving up, forward, and around. This really helps teach you good control. Click in your other leg. This is a fun one. Now, easiest gear, and get out of the saddle. And with a slow pedaling cadence, about 40 RPM, what I want you to do is take as much weight off your hands as you can and work that downward motion. So when you're going down, you're resisting your body weight. Keeping your pedaling smooth and steady. You got to work both legs here.
The smell of
left and right, left and right.
In the air on this cloudy day.
Get back in the saddle. Soft pedal.
It's actually quite warm out. About 60.
And let that heart rate come back down. So my heart rate's almost up to 80% there. I'm in the high 70s. So I want to let my heart rate come back down to about 70%. Now what we were doing there was an eccentric contraction exercise. So basically like walking down a flight of stairs, you're resisting the weight of your motion, or you're resisting your body weight. And that really helps develop good climbing skills. The other thing I hate about cycling are embarrassing products for your butt. I'm going to try to keep this PG rated. The narrow, hard saddles, butt pain, discomfort in the crotch. Things like chamois butter. and that ugly pad in your shorts. Now that ugly pad in your shorts. That helps to relieve some of the pressure, helps to relieve some of that chafing, and it's also typically antibacterial. So if you're on your saddle for a long way and you get jock itch, that should help prevent it. It might not. Depends on how much you sweat. It does absorb sweat. It absorbs salt so that you don't, so that salt doesn't turn into like sandpaper against your skin, which can be really, really uncomfortable. The hard saddles, you know, a lot of people think that the hard saddles are more uncomfortable than the soft ones, but sometimes that's just not the case. Some saddles have those openings, those comfort openings. They may or may not work for some people. They help, supposed to take the pressure off of the obvious areas. Helps to encourage circulation down there. We should be under 70% here. And we have a few seconds. Let's go ahead and add 2 clicks of resistance. So we're at a 3 out of 10 in the back, or our resistance is a 2 out of 10 on your spin bike. Cadence 110 RPM, ready, steady, go. Get those legs moving. Still, keeping your upper body, your shoulders square. Eyes forward. Your legs should feel detached from your upper body. Pedaling smoothly, spinning. No extracurricular motion. Keep your head still. Keep your arms still. Hands light on the bars, and let's go ahead and soft pedal. Add 1 more click of resistance. Left leg interval, unclick your right. 70 RPM. And go. 1 leg only. Right turn. Keep pedaling smooth. So feeling a little harder. We got to focus more on form, keeping that foot rotating smoothly in a perfect circle. Trying to remove that dead spot at the top and the bottom by pushing your foot forward or pulling it back. Other leg. Right leg, 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Go. 70 RPM. It's not super fast. Just focusing on form, technique, smooth pedal strokes.
You probably can tell better than me. Feels like we're going north.
Should be keeping that wheel speed the same
I'm turned around
through the entire stroke. It shouldn't be surging. It shouldn't be a both feet in. Bring that resistance back all the way to 1. Or easiest gear. Out of the saddle. Eccentric contraction again. 1 second. Go. Nice and slow. Control your downward motion. Should be out of the saddle here. As upright as you can be. And you should feel your legs going in a nice, perfectly circular motion at a constant, steady speed. And back in the saddle. And now what we're going to do is put it in our hardest gear. 10 out of 10. And big ring up front. And then let's just keep a pedaling cadence of about between 40 to 60 RPM. Keeping that heart rate right around, well, I'm in the high 70s again.
I see you.
Just feeling a nice smooth pedal stroke here, pushing down, feeling that positive resistance in your legs. Good. Now take off that resistance, put it back in your easiest gear. I topped out at 81% of max.